Greetings, I'm Les.
And I am Scandal.
And let's
plant
grow
a garden together! Yes!
All right, we're going to do this.
It's a totally planned, we swear.
Oh, totally planned. We totally planned these in advance. Oh, well,
I-
hello, Luke's garage sale.
That is not how you are drawn in the slightest.
No, that looks wildly
That looks
different, my dude. Like,
way
wow.
more trying to be slightly more conventionally attractive. Like I did point it out with the model before.
I don't know, that looks like more like Meet the Robinsons kind of style to me, like really hard. I'm like, hey, I don't know, my dude.
Well, what makes you think that wasn't conventionally attractive?
Not saying. Okay, so we are getting into episode, I think this is like episode 11. We're getting into this thing.
We're getting into an experience. How
Anyway,
about
we're
that?
on day 9 and we're going to replace the soil. Do it.
Yes.
If you haven't seen our series so far, welcome. And if you have, we're so glad to see you along. So far, we're getting 9 consistent views on everything, and I'm just assuming 9 people are loving the heck out of this, and that's kind of what I'm hoping.
It's great fun. Also, welcome to, and thank you for joining us for the coronavirus.
Yes.
We actually finally just got a notification in our state, in the United States, for now it is official. Starting 8 a.m. tomorrow, which tomorrow is going to be for us, the 26th of March, you must stay inside except for essential tasks.
Yep.
And
However,
that's it.
Here in this part of the world, they are saying dog walking is an essential task. So hopefully people social distance while they're doing that. Anyway,
I really hope so too.
Take care of yourselves in the great indoors, and if you do have a backyard or space to garden, go do that by yourself in your private space. Enjoy.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's no veggery garden without some Victorable. Oh, that's amazing.
You were like, is this an error? Is that,
I was like, okay. It's no veggery garden without some Victorables, and we need freshly turned soil for that. That's hilarious.
Oh,
She's
boy.
trying so hard. Wait, veggery? Victorables?
That sounds amazing.
Ah, this tax thing is destroying my last brain cells.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too.
Victor Bowls is amazing because they're victory
is.
vegetables.
Victory vegetables. It's very cute.
Victor Bowls.
Poor thing. She's like, I have one brain cell and it's working so hard today. Ah! All right.
I understand the stress. Chin up, Miss Roberts. Now's the time to put that energy from worrying into hoeing. So stick your leg out, honey, and hoe!
Hoe harder, my dear. It will solve your problems. Yeah, I wonder what the scientific formula is for converting worry to hoeing. All right, everyone who's hoed because they were worried, shout out to yourselves.
You are seen here.
You are seen. You're like, I had financial trouble, so I hoed it up. Just like Lily in her garden.
Oh, gosh. I wish we didn't have stuff like it. Well, like I always say, spend all day thinking about hoeing, and you'll never get any real hoeing done.
All right, so I get all the hoe jokes and everything, but I also have read if you'd have started running when you first started thinking about going for a run, you'd be back by now. And for most activities...
God, it's so true.
Most things that you're procrastinating, if you started doing them when you first thought about starting doing them, you'd be done by the time you got to the part where you're going, I should have done that, oh my God.
There's even the thing where I loved where somebody pointed out, like, there was a Twitter post about it where somebody was just like, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, I don't want to be a doctor, I'll be 29 when I'm done. And they'll be like, but you're still going to be 29 anyway.
Even if you're not a doctor.
Why not just do it? And they're like, oh, yeah. Like, it is genuinely, gosh, it's so damn funny to me. Like, I totally get it, where you're just like, but it seems so far away or so long, and it's like, yeah, but then you could educate yourself. You could also maybe learn something in that amount of time and go, maybe being a doctor isn't good for me, but it's something to do, you know?
Right. Also, it's one of those things of just taking time to do things with yourself and going, well, that goal will take me so long. And there's, in reference to goal setting and achieving things and even life achievements and stuff, there was an individual who talked to their life coach and they were just like, if I do the goal that I want to, I'll be 56 by the time I achieve it. And their life coach is just like, okay. And you'll still be 56 if you don't achieve it.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, you're still going to hit that landmark. Anyway,
it's
whether
fine.
it's a daily procrastination or a life one, treat yourself. Try and do what you want to do.
Right, and it's also like, set goals, but also be willing to re-examine your goals and be more specific when you learn more information. Don't just go, because I never achieved this goal, means that I completely failed. It might mean that your goal was either unrealistic, or basically you didn't have enough information until you started going through, and then going through your process will actually maybe help you set different and better goals.
And it was not suited to you, or that you need to adjust along the way as you learn more about yourself. Anyway, you always say that.
You always say that? Because that was a question.
Oh, right. You always say that? That's what you always say. You always say about hoeing. Thank you for that context. I lost it. All right, Roxy, you and me, let's hoe. Hoeing together.
I am dog. Boof.
For anyone that doesn't know the I Am Dog joke, that is still their name, and you should go back to episode 2, maybe, Holy crap, you just tore everything out of those garden beds, like, gone. What'd you find, Roxy?
Take a wild guess.
Is it a photo? It's a lockbox. Wonder if it's a time capsule or something. Or something that my great aunt, the warlock left for me. That's what I was looking for.
Yep.
Ugh, I hate a mystery. I'll just set it aside for now.
Nope.
There is a lock on it, isn't there? And we went, no, I can't open it. Good job, Roxy. Soil's ready for it's ready for me to plant things. Yes. Oh, poor baby.
She's like, I will have my victory bells.
I'm trying.
And hopefully they won't eat me.
So hard. So hard, my dude.
Grow.
All right, grow berries.
Berries. Instantly.
Poof. Everything else that's had a time frame, this one I am not so much.
I mean,
unless we're just gonna plant them.
There's been plenty of ones where we have no time frame at all.
No, but I mean, we all do it. We do things that could theoretically be done in a day.
Right.
Of planting a new tree. It's not stuff growing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now they are, embellishing a bit of there's green grass under the stuff you rake away, etc., etc.
Oh yeah.
But we're not talking about growing something inside of one day.
Right? Can you imagine if actually, so you have 30 days to redo an actual garden of this size, like an entire grounds.
You better buy a lot of starters.
Can you imagine actually how long
How
that
much
would
work
actually
take? You need
take?
so many people. You need a lot of people.
You'd need more than 30 days for one, too, because 30 days is not enough to get some growth out of some plants that would be big enough and bright enough and good enough, depending on what your terms of your contract
Unless you
were.
tore them out and replaced them, all of them, with new things, with starters and from tree nursery, stuff like that. Ugh. Freshly turned and tilled soil, perfect for planting. Hey, I can plant anything.
Morph. Arf. I am dog.
No, you can't plant dog biscuits, silly. Let's plant some berries instead. Dog is skeptical, going, no, I could totally plant dog biscuits. You watch me.
I love the fact, actually, so my grandma, their lawn, my grandma and grandpa, my grandparents, their lawn that they had in the garden they actually had raspberries and they had grapes.
That is white grapes. And what are those?
I don't know.
They don't look dense enough to be raspberries,
Are those raspberries?
but they are red.
They're huge.
They're also gigantic.
Oh, God.
And a different kind of framing with the same kind of berry. Usually you don't have completely different trellises, but they do look like raspberry bushes. And I do not know what those are.
I don't know either. Maybe they're actually finally tomatoes? Those
And
are
then
like
these are
grapes, like...
Gonna be like black grapes?
Oh, no, those blackberries?
No, but they have the grape leaf, though, so they should be grapes.
Oh, maybe.
But they don't have, like, proper trellising? I don't know. Also,
oh, no,
like,
they actually have this, though.
they have the little pots. Look at that
Look,
barrel. That's
they actually
beautiful.
have it. Oh, this is the first
She has
time I've
little
seen that
starters.
before.
All right, so aesthetically, since we can't discuss what these are, what would we like? I kind of like the blueberries, or like the blue color with the, like the darker grapes.
I don't know what, like, honestly, I'm having a thing of going, I wish I knew better, like, better or more about, like, gardening and what would be a better fit for these types of plants, which is why I'm going, I
kind of like the matched trellises here, like where it looks like it's a unified system.
Right, that looks much better to me, too, because I was kind of worried, actually, about the one where it just had the straight-out poles,
Yeah,
like,
just
by
the pole in
itself.
the
I was
center,
kind of worried about the plants falling
All right,
over, so...
let's do this one.
Yes.
All right. Oh, and
the
we're doing the
ground.
ground at the same time.
Whoa.
Now that you've already got weed growth in there, so no. That one is nice and clean. This one's also got, so plants growing up between your walk is going to crack your bricks and it's ruining your grout, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
let's-
I'm going to go for the clean one,
Yep,
even
clean.
if it's not my favorite, because I don't want, like, plant life and weeds already invading.
Yep.
Berrylicious and birds, like, wow. Hello,
Whoa.
blue jays. Is that one just, like, hovering in the air, or is that on the ground there?
I think it's supposed to be on the ground next to
is
Roxy,
hard to
who
tell
did
exactly.
not freak out at all like a normal dog would.
Poof!
Time to murder.
Whoa, birds, I will get them. Chirp, 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 chirp. Roxy,
Roxy,
Ooh.
I walked into you and all the birds freaked out.
Hey!
After like 12 minutes.
Hey, get out of here, birds! My berries! You're gonna get a scarecrow, aren't you? Look at them all waiting!
Yes.
That's so charming and ridiculous.
Oh, chasing them off is no help, Miss Roberts. You'll find that quite hard to get rid of.
You're so helpful. Thank you, sir.
You are very...
Awful lot of that going on around here. Sir.
Sir.
Gentlemen.
That's why
Mister.
there used to be a scarecrow over there. However, some birds are actually smart enough, and historically speaking, as the generations sometimes go on, they get used to your scarecrows. And therefore, your scarecrows actually become way less effective as time goes on.
Additionally, some of them become feral and are just used to you being in the garden.
Yep.
And they're like, people are around, we're fine. We're like city pigeons. By
Yep.
the way, city pigeons, no good. If you haven't seen our bird video, our paper wings, if you want to go learn some pigeon facts about wild pigeons, go watch that one.
It's true.
All right. Wait, are scarecrows like Real? Do they actually work?
It's right there in the name. I seem to recall you had an unwanted male guest recently, too. Perhaps he left some of his clothes?
Oh dear, you're gonna have us build a scarecrow from Larry's old clothes?
Honestly, that would be kind of funny.
Uh,
But considering,
as long
like,
as
the
we
stereotype,
don't make
I
it
know.
look like Larry, which would be rude as hell.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I haven't thrown those out yet. Let's put them to good use. Here we go.
All right.
Place a scarecrow, which is more like build a scarecrow from scratch. We're gonna do it.
Yes! Halfway
Look,
point.
we got halfway through our day.
Oh.
And you get lives. Again, if you haven't heard it, I'm just gonna say it again. This game gives you a lot of free lives.
It's very friendly.
So if you hit a level you are stuck on, one of your daily rewards will get it, or one of your like flower or bomb contests will get it. Yeah, there's a bomb contest in here. Let's say and or just you getting through your other like paying through your day will get you some free lives. You know, there's actually a package to buy 16 hours worth of free lives. Who wants to play this game for 16 hours in a row without stopping? Because it's not me. It's
Okay.
not me.
Yeah, that's one of those cases where I'd be like, well, I guess if you're indoors, but also I'd be like, you guys, you might be able to come up with a more potentially constructive activity, but
Or just going nothing else but this for 16 hours. I think you need to be like watching a movie or listening to an audiobook or something.
right.
But I mean, if you can't like cook or anything, because
honestly,
otherwise you'd be wasting
That's
some of
where
your
I'd be
lives.
like, even for me, where I don't necessarily recommend like. So as much as I like the idea of Audible, I would definitely recommend like if you're in the United States,
Use
go-
your library.
God, use Overdrive. Holy
It is a
cow.
free library app. If you have
Or-
access to any library card
Yes.
at all, you can check out audiobooks, you can check out Kindle books, you can check out just like e-readers. Like you can still use your library even as they're closed down during COVID-19. COVID-19.
You really
want to
say Corvid. I'm
I
amazed.
know, all the birds. Anyway, time to scare some crows.
Or you can also use a program called Libby, and there's another one called Canopy.
Which are just library apps. And if you don't know any of those, ask your local library. And if you're not in America, ask your library over there if you have libraries. Because when I was in China, they weren't sure what a library was, so I'm not sure what the situation on that one is.
Uh-huh.
At least the people that I talked to at the school.
Blue California scrub jays, Miss Roberts. Oh,
Yep.
we've got Californian scrub jays.
And they are eating my berries, which means there's
Stealth.
only city and mountains. That's it.
That's it.
We just forgot the desert. Wait, will the scarecrow work on non-crows?
That's actually a legitimate question because
It
it's called
is.
a scarecrow.
Not a scarebird.
Not a scarebird. It's
A
true.
scarebird. What is it? That's my scarebird. All right, we just need to build a good old scarebird.
Oh my god, this sentence is ridiculous. I believe the functionality of a scarecrow is species agnostic.
That's so bad.
That's terrible.
All inclusive, discriminates equally.
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious. It's not speciesist. So where are we going to stick it in the ground? A little while later.
Well, I guess we just figured out how to make one abruptly.
Sometime later. Oh dear. Just a little padding here. Well, some extra padding for realism's sake. You are.
Yeah,
oh my
you just
gosh,
made him.
really? Up you go, Mr. Scarecrow. I mean, it's not too
kinda-
bad of a mockery, but it's a weird looking scarecrow. And
Hey.
honestly, the birds haven't moved yet, so.
Yeah, they're just like, eh.
Well, I don't know about birds, but I certainly wouldn't want to come here if I saw him. Huh. Look at that. They really hate him. Good job, me. Art imitating. Oh, God, you're being rude, Lily. You're really just being rude.
Like, again, I appreciate the fact
he
that
was
he did.
disrespectful to you.
He did
and he
also
was
lie.
inappropriate. He lied to you. He shoved in on your space, but like, he's still a person and he's gone. So you don't need to build up any additional resentment to him. I don't know.
I was like, they're wasting your time on that.
Maybe on the other hand, this is more cathartic for her, and it only feels weird because we're third parties interacting with it, where a lot of times you can take out your frustration in healthy places for yourself, by yourself, but when you have other people interacting with it, it feels much bigger.
That one too. Like, so we've noticed a lot of times, even in regards to like playing like a dating game, again, where we or at least also I try to mention it once in a while, being like, there's no shame in you enjoying what other people would call problematic fiction. It is intended to be a thing for you to enjoy and have fun with, and whatever else it might be, because sometimes that is your personal private space where you just need to let something out. That
Or
doesn't mean you
experience something
endorse
you're
it or want it
curious
to
about,
actually
or-
happen
Yeah.
or whatever else. Sometimes it can be a learning experience. Sometimes it could just be for funsies, but it's with you and yourself.
But also,
So,
all of these stories, a lot of them, they really seem to expect you to play them sort of
Alone.
by yourself.
Yeah.
And so you're having essentially a sympathetic experience alone with the main character. We recently played a game that we haven't posted yet, but it had some really sensitive subject matter. And with the two of us together, it became a completely different game than if someone was essentially like sad and isolated and reading it by themselves.
Yeah, we're even having a debate about whether or not we should even post it, to be perfectly honest, because there is a level of you cannot necessarily get involved in the same headspace when you really do have somebody else there.
Yep.
And that's not to say that the subject itself wasn't big or important, but it is one of those realizations, I think, even now that I keep sort of having, of just going, you know what? Being alone completely changes your perspective on things.
It does. It changes your experience on a lot of things. This has been a fascinating experience for all of us. So, art imitating life. Okay. Pests are dealt with. What's next? Well, another flower bed? I mean, another garden bed, I imagine.
Probably? Or are we
You know
actually going
what?
to talk to
Let's
Philip
just
about
do it. Let's ask him about the damn box.
That's
We're
all
just
we
going to shove it in his face. Clank! Hey, Philip, what's this? Do you know anything about the lockbox, Philip? Not this lockbox. The lockbox. The only lockbox
I will
ever.
laugh if he knows exactly what that is. How do you mean?
I mean, like, is this part of some big treasure hunt Aunt Mary planned for me as a test?
You think your great aunt planted a block box decades ago in anticipation that she might one day need to test a grandniece with it?
Hey, I don't know when she put it in the ground, my dude. I
mean,
don't know.
the last one was suspiciously well put together.
It really was. So
she's a warlock. I don't care.
Now, decades ago, probably not. But more
Again.
recently, sure thing. I just happened to find a beret, yes!
Yes.
In a well with a perfectly preserved hair from my great uncle. He's taken it back now, yes. Head, so it in
it.
uncle's head in it, so I could run a DNA test, which your daughter granddaughter
Happened to
have in her truck.
That's weird.
Why does she have DNA testing stuff in her truck? She is a carpenter. Excuse the heck out of me for assuming everything I find from now on is a part of some grand scheme. Is a part of grand scheme by my crazy great aunt. Also, this is a great call out of the game. There's been a couple of times now where they've called themselves out and they've been like, the mechanics that we're using, even as other people have put them together and we've modeled them, are hilarious. And good job to them for that.
The level of self-awareness is fun.
And her self-awareness right here is great. This is very charming. It doesn't really like pull me out of the experience the way some things do.
Now, Mary was many things, but crazy wasn't one of them.
Okay. Sorry, you're right. I got a little carried away with that one. Oh, I bet Luke could open this. He's probably got some bolt cutters or a welder.
Yeah?
Or jaws of life.
Ooh.
Call
Luke. Him.
We're not going to just walk over there?
We walk over and invade his...
He's really, like, right over there. We could just knock on his door.
All right, well, fine.
It's fine. We'll call him.
At least somebody actually finally has a cell phone.
I mean, yeah, as opposed to our other games where they're like, I can't talk to anyone. I am alone.
Oh, gosh, this is silly.
He's already in my favorites list. Well,
Honey,
you don't call very many. Yeah, you don't call very many people. James.
So I actually had this problem even with lies where I actually laughed at it to them at one point because I went, wow, you're in my favorites list. And then I looked at myself and I stared in a mirror and I was like, that's literally because lies is about one of the only people you talk to.
Yep.
Like
a favorite list of
for me, you want to talk about how introverted I am and how reclusive sometimes I, as Scandal, can be? Dude, my friend is like the only person on my favorites list. That's all I got.
It's because I'm so good to talk to.
We don't do enough of that.
It's fine. I guess he kind of is my favorite neighbor and your only neighbor.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Call Luke.
Yellow. It doesn't actually say yellow.
Yellow it does.
Yeah!
I love it. You got the accent right. Good job. Hey, it's your favorite neighbor. I hope. I'm still like with her fingers. I always feel like she's wearing really weird latex gloves.
I know. The
like,
shine.
The fingers around the phone are just super
is
weird.
Hilarious.
Like I know with the thumb you can actually see the nail more clearly, so you know she's not. But like it looks like her hands are in a weird glove.
Like, it's kind of funny.
I don't suppose you have any lockpicks, or as I said, like a bolt cutter, or maybe like a good hacksaw, or something like that. Oh dear.
What?
He's just like, whoa.
But
yeah, that model looked nothing like him.
Oh,
Holy crap. I found an old lockbox and I don't have a key for it. Thought maybe you might know how to open it?
Old lockbox, huh? Yeah, I think I have just a thing. I'll walk on over.
Thank you. Bye. I can almost hear you talking in your house from here. We're so close.
Actually, I've done that before, and it is the funniest thing where you're kind of giggling, going,
I called someone 2 rooms over, and I hear them echoing over there.
And you're like, oh.
Mystery almost solved.
Hooray! What else are we doing?
Whoa. It just went,
Arf,
kept
arf.
going.
I am dog.
Yes, you are. I mean, Roxy.
Good girl.
Hey, Luke.
There's someone needed a lock picked.
Or destroyed, but I guess picking it saves it. Maybe you could use it in art after that.
It's true.
That's me.
Especially because it could be pretty old.
It could be.
Who's your pal on the bench, actually? Come to think of it, they've actually never met.
Yeah, you haven't met the grandpa lawyer, have you?
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's Mr. Jones, my great-aunt's lawyer and significant other.
Greetings!
Yep.
Why is there an octogenarian lawyer on your bench?
Oh, well, you see,
He's
that's
an
so great.
80-year-old.
He's an 80-year-old man.
He's an 80-year-old man.
I don't hear
Octogenarian.
people use that very often.
That's actually
charming.
really funny.
That's very cute. It's not important. Can I just say legal reasons? Did you bring your lockpick? Ha! Thanks. Let me dodge. Dodge harder.
I bought a real delicate tool for lock-picking experts. Hey!
Are you trying
flirting?
to... is that innuendo, my dude?
That kind of
'Cause I'm
seems like
not-
it is.
I might not be into
I mean, again, I'm like,
He
I'm
brought
fine.
I love the implication that he brought a hammer. Like, that makes me so
Yes.
irritated. Like, I know it's do something, but I'm like, it's
I
a
think
hammer.
that's kind of what he brought, actually.
Oh, God, that would be hilarious. Tell me you didn't bring it. Oh, no, you're just going to destroy the whole box. Oh, God, you don't know what's in there. You're going to destroy everything in the box.
Stand back, girls!
I want to yell no. Wait! That's your delicate lock-picking tool? Thank you.
Thank God. Never question the methods of a master lockpicker, Lily.
You know what? Go get your machete instead, okay? We'll try it.
What, we can do it.
No. Okay, fine. Just don't hurt the box at all. So what you should be doing is like putting the box up on something and laying the lock out on something else and then smashing it. Also, I just tiled that ground and you're going to take a sledgehammer to my beautifully tiled path?
Yes.
You're going to be repairing that, my dude, because I spent a lot of time on that. At
My
least like 2 or 3 stars worth of time.
Oh, God. Can't hurt an inanimate object! Yeah!
No, I want to stop him.
Hi.
You broke the hinges off. Maybe you just casually broke the hinges off. One unlocked box later.
Oh, yeah. That lock was all eaten up by rust.
That's not how that works, but okay.
Honey? But check it out! Who's the master of unlocking? Isn't that a reference? The
Maybe.
Master of Unlocking?
It
Where
sounds
the hell is
familiar.
that from?
I don't
Oh my
know.
God, my brain is gonna go nuts.
That feels like a nerd reference. I can't believe I let you do that. You are the master of unlocking. I'm not gonna make her flirty and gooey about this. I just am not. It's a journal. Aunt Mary's. And something else that we're not gonna acknowledge in there.
Yeah,
Oh no, the journal's still in there and she picked it up. It's in both places.
Oh no.
That's what it is.
Ah!
Yes! It's a journal. And another journal. And another
Another
journal.
journal. Oh.
And another journal.
It's
just full of journals.
journalception.
This is an endless box of journals. Do you know the endless box of journals is a rare artifact? Why do I know that? I think I learned that when I was young. Oh my God, Luke, I might be a warlock. Oh God! All right. Here we go.
Oh, Hummingbird, 1946, Gardner Army Field, Boeing Starman Model 75 training aircraft.
Look at the
I wonder if
beautiful
this is
gibberish.
real. Oh, it's in reverse.
Is it reversed?
Yeah.
So what's it say? Now? It's
Oh, well, maybe
Bane?
not. Maybe they just kind of palette. What?
Dane?
Oh, either that or it's like in German.
I think
like,
it's gibberish.
It's probably gibberish.
I'm thinking it's thoughtful gibberish, but I don't know.
Wow.
Wow, these entries are from after the war. The relief I feel being back home cannot be overstated, and yet I worry. I must be able to make a living. Okay?
Okay, I love how they followed the page. This is just sort of a design problem. So they follow the page. See how it's all angled? So over
Yes.
here on the writing, and then suddenly Mary is straight dead on.
Yes.
Even though the page is warped and bent.
Some people do turn their signatures another way, but also, like, why is she signing it a letter to herself?
Right?
Right. She was an aviatrix. An aviatrix. I'm a professional aviatrix.
Someone going,
Can I assist you?
can I hire you for after hours?
And they're like, do you have a plane? Do you have a plane?
A what?
Single
Hey.
or double prop? What? Oh.
Oh, honey, I'm not that kind of a dix.
Not that kind of atrix.
not kind of age.
Another kind of atrix.
Different atrix.
She was employed by the military. I was not born wealthy, but I was born determined. I'll turn to my modest skills to take care of myself. Gardening, and of course, the other one. Whoa!
What?
My great aunt picked up gardening after the war ended, but she mentioned another skill she had to make a living. Snaring a husband. It's very lucrative.
It kind of is sometimes. Planning treasure hunts and setting up questionable motivational schemes for her future great niece.
That's totally profitable. You bet. Pays really well.
Well, congratulations on your new daughter. Hey, give me a call if you need help with a greenhouse, yeah?
I do. You know what? Just stay here. It's fine.
Don't leave.
Sure. Later. I'll need you back in about 2 more steps.
All right, now come back.
Hi. He's walking away. Well, there's a lot about Aunt Mary's life I still don't really know. I should read some more of this when I get a chance. And he's not curious about her personal journal at all. The love of his life. Well, the second love of his life.
Clearly.
All right. About the other thing. I want to ask him about the other thing.
Sure, what other thing we're talking?
Like, in this episode, I want to ask him about the other thing.
Oh, what else she's good at. Right.
Also going, why would she be vague to herself?
Mr. Jones, I need an answer to this question.
Mr. Jones, tell me one of those beautiful diary stories. Oh, we got this. Mr. Jones?
What?
Oh, I woke him up. That was rude. Whoops. Sorry, I couldn't tell if you were awake or asleep. Yeah.
Which was it?
Yeah, you know what? Asleep, I guess. I love it. That's great.
Fascinating. How can I help you, Miss Roberts?
As much as he's a little dismissive, sometimes he is pretty chill.
It's true.
I'm like, damn, dude, you are all over the place. Well, I got the lockbox open, and I didn't ruin my tile path, and I had one of Aunt Mary's old diaries in it.
Family history. A true treasure.
Personal thoughts in someone else's head that they never thought I'd read. You betcha.
Wait.
In it, she says she needed to make money, but was only good at 2 things: gardening and the other thing. Do you know what she meant by that?
She must have written that when she was young. Mary had many talents when she met me.
So you're saying
she did make a mean rabbit stew. Maybe that's the answer.
If she sold it for money, rabbit stew?
Just gotta rest my eyes for us.
What could Mary possibly do for a living besides gardening? Gardening is not actually a very easy living to just start.
Especially in regards to the property on that. Like, my dude, you still got property taxes, you got plenty of other things going on, unless you have some weird thing with the government.
If she's finished, if she retired but like honorably discharged, finished the military, she's got her military benefits, so she just really needs to subsidize those.
Right.
All right. So let's see here. What could Mary possibly do?
Orf, I am dog.
No, you are Roxy. I told you your name, my dear. All right. Well, let's grow some vegetables, I guess.
Instantly.
Let's actually just plant some starters. If you don't know what a starter is, it's when somebody else puts it, or yourself, in another location, gets it growing real big and healthy, and then you replant it. These'll taste great.
So we're specifically... Oh.
Yeah, that's not starters. That is full-on mature vegetables. Okay?
Oh, except sort of not.
I mean, that's
Right,
full-size
true.
cucumbers and tomatoes. And tomatoes take between like 75 to 110 days.
It's kind of cute.
I'm just looking at supportive trellises.
That's what I'm looking
that's
at,
what I was
too.
looking at. So we got cucumbers. They're all cucumbers and tomatoes. It's just different trellises and accent flowers.
I don't actually know what's better.
So the latter trellises have been used really successfully with tomatoes. These ones are more limited in their support with the sort of like conical shape, and those ones are really easy to build, and it matches pretty well for herself. But
support-wise, probably
other flowers, that one has hardly anything going with it. This one's kind of fun. I like to think, even though I don't know for sure, that some of the flowers would be like beneficial companion flowers,
right?
Where they would actually keep away some pests and things like that, or support the soil by being a different kind of a plant in a different family.
That's actually also another thing
taking
to
different
consider,
nutrients. Yeah. I kind of like this one. What do you think?
I do too. It's cute.
Let's
I like
do it.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Oh, and then we got to do the ground again.
And the only one that doesn't is
the only one that doesn't have damage going on. Look at Roxy just going crazy. Dog, you're digging it up. Do it. Veggie-tastic. Okay, but tomatoes are a fruit, my dude, so we're fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I wonder what it was like back then. Probably a lot different.
Isn't that technically then also cucumbers are also
I think they are considered
too?
a fruit.
Yeah.
Look at the damn compost pile. That looks amazing.
Good job.
Having gardens like this so they didn't go hungry instead of just for fun, it really makes you think. Maybe I even exist because of this garden, or ones like it. Kind of wild to think about.
Borf, I am dog.
I'm still gonna call you Roxy. I'll just pretend I couldn't hear that part. All right, here you go, Roxy. One fresh new cucumber. I promised you. Blah, 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 blah. All right, repair the compost bin.
Oh, okay. So the compost bin is actually a mess.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is the sides are all falling down like crazy. See that? Like,
Yeah.
it's composted itself. I can compost scraps from the veggies I grow here.
And
Good.
also other foods as well.
And actually, all that yard waste you've been collecting, it could all be composted here.
Hey!
Da-da-da-da-da. Or in a different compost pile. Having multiple compost piles can actually be really useful, and having them in various states of like turned over and decomposition, so that you have one that's just new, then one that's more broken down, and you can move it from one to another and break it down further.
Right.
Is actually
Or
a
just kind
cool
of having
thing.
a schedule.
Yep, having a schedule of going and turning it. And then you can have I started this one, and then I started the next one, then I started the last one. And then as you rotate them, you start using the first one, the first one first and the last one last. Kind of thing, walking through them.
It's first in, first out.
Yep, first in, first out. Then I can use the compost to grow more veggies. You know how compost works, my dear.
Good.
It is good to refertilize our soil. That is a lot of bugs, though, which I can then turn into scraps. And it's like washing the dishes, my dear. Endless cycle.
Arf! I am dog!
Huh? Yeah. Sorry. You get the idea. My one brain cell is still, struggling a little bit. Let's get this fixed up. I'm surprised we're not mentioning the bugs at all.
Yeah, no kidding.
10 minutes later. Holy crap. Pardon me?
Cover your mouth with your arm. No.
I sneezed into my elbow. Excuse you. I sneezed on the tablet. The tablet's gonna be sick now.
Yep.
Compost-tastic. What did you do with the rest of the compost, dear? Like, you
my
repaired
honey?
the bin, but where did the compost go?
Did you just go make another one?
Did we just
What
take it
happened?
and spread it all over the garden beds?
Also, why couldn't we pick the compost this time?
I don't know. That's
Why?
weird. I would have loved to pick the bin. That's a little wild. Whoobadoo! Ooh. Ha! Something happened. What happened? Maybe Luke is right. Maybe I do get a little too excited about garbage.
Honestly, putting your life back together and actually having tangible, basically, results sometimes is super good.
Having
Celebrating
things-
the little things is really important in regards to having goals and having, like, clear things set out.
And marking things off a checklist can be super helpful.
Uh-huh.
Yes. All right.
Borf, I am dog.
You are Roxy. Oh, here we go. It just started on its own.
Well, Miss Roberts, you've done fine work today.
On only half the garden,
Mary was, of course, correct to trust you with the estate.
and still only half the garden.
I'd just ask that you not let this business with the property tax cast dark clouds over your experience here.
Even though I might lose my
I'll
experience
go over
here.
Mary's records and see if I can find a solution.
You really just showed up to see if I was still doing what you thought I should be doing before you agreed to help me?
There's also, though, a level again where I'm like, she was an accountant. Why is this not coming up? I honestly was really actually expecting this to come up. Maybe it'll come up later. I'm
Maybe.
still
I'm
hoping and
hoping so.
holding out because we're still not done with this scenario yet, as
Right?
it were.
We're
So
not
I'm like,
even a third of the way through yet, because we're only on day 9 out of 30.
Right?
Right? Anyway, so I expect we're going to play till
Well, I'm
30
like, it
days.
seems like, it's very specific, like, here's this particular section
Right.
for this problem.
Here's your monster of the week. Here's
Yeah.
your next monster of the week.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Say, and this one,
Thank
I
you,
want her to-
Mr. Jones.
thank you, Mr. Jones. Obscure as always.
Yeah, I really do hope that they will do that, because I'm just like,
I want her to be an
accountant.
accountant. Yeah.
I do too.
I want her to use her skills to help herself now. That'd
No
be great.
kidding. Now hurry up, Miss Roberts. I haven't got all day.
Hurry up with
What?
what? Where are we going?
To your car, of course, so you can drive me home. Ha ha! How'd you get
mean
here?
my car that
How-
I just got rid of
How
after
did you get here,
I,
sir? Sir.
pulled all my stuff out of it?
Also, I noticed something hilarious. So
Uh-huh.
you notice these little armbands? They disappear whenever his arm comes across on his right arm,
Oh,
on
really?
his left when we were looking at him.
That's amazing. I didn't
like
notice
it's
that.
super. I was just like, well, that threw me off. All right.
Sure, though I'm still not 100% on how you got here in the first place. She doesn't know either. You're okay, my friend.
It's fine.
You're okay. And I still don't know where I put my car either. Like, I really
Do I
don't.
have a
So I'm just going to point out to everyone again that we showed up at, whoa, we can't load the house. Load in the house.
house going?
At the
Wah!
house over here. We parked our car right here initially. And you notice how we have no garage and we have no way to drive in. So unless our car is parked super seriously, like right here next to the house between all these bushes,
How?
where do we have it? Or it's parked like right here behind where we can't see it.
All right.
Like where do we keep our car? my dudes.
My
Because there's no way to drive it in from
homies.
back here to park it behind the house, let alone we are gated off. That is Luke's territory. So, yeah. All right. Anyway.
Well, honestly, I think as far in as we are, it's getting a little bit late, so we do actually really appreciate you guys being here with us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We got links down below.
We would also love it if you would share things with your friends or direct them to our channel if you think they would like any of our content. Even if it's only one of our specific series, we would love a little more exposure.
Yes, it's super helpful. So thank you very much for joining us, and we again appreciate you guys being with us for this coronavirus pandemic. We really do hope you're all staying very safe and staying in the social distancing, please.
Yes, stay away from each other, even for birthdays and festivals and special things. Save the world and be antisocial. Take care of yourselves out there.
This is the first time you can actually do it. Save the world by staying away from people. It's awesome. This has been Scandal.
And I have been Lies, and it was great playing with you. Bye!